everyone. We are here this morning with our Chief Market Analyst, Lynette Zhang, and as a continuation of last week, we're doing Q&As on Thursday. So what we're doing is we're taking the best questions from YouTube, from our YouTube channel, and we're aggregating that into one sheet, and Lynette has not seen them, so that way we can ask her kind of live on camera and get her true response. So I am going to go over the three questions, and we'll just see what you have to say.
Okay.
So Nicholas,
okay,
and I guess I asked, these are their screen names. So Nicholas asked, and this is a multi-part question, okay? So whatever happened to CME position limits? I am aware position limit exceptions can be made when a trader broker is properly hedged, but what does that mean? Can precious metal short positions be hedged with corresponding long positions, or do short contracts in excess of CME position limits have to be hedged with physical metal? If the latter is true, is the declared physical metal position a matter of public record?
I'm going to have to do some research to answer that question.
Okay.
So I will answer it next week. I will do my research this weekend.
All right, so I'll save that one.
Save that one.
Okay. All right. Charlotte Grove asks, if I take 403B money out to buy retirement precious metals according to IRS rules, can I hold the precious metals myself? Should I answer that one? Since I did all the research on that?
Well, you can. A 403B, you can't hold physical metals in a 403B.
Can she roll over, though?
She can roll it into a traditional IRA or a Roth IRA, any form of IRA, and then she could do metals inside of the IRA.
Okay, now with the 403B, is that a teacher's one?
Hospitals. That's usually something like teachers, hospitals.
So what if she still works for him? Can she do it then?
Probably not.
Okay,
403Bs are really.
She'd have to actually be retired. Then, if she could, then she can roll it into a traditional IRA within a precious metals IRA.
Yes.
Okay.
Or she could take a distribution, pay her taxes, and then hold the metals herself.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Either way.
Right, and to answer the question about the can you hold the IRA metals yourself?
She's talking about that gray area.
That's sort of a gray area. There are companies out there like Accuplan that do help people set up precious metal or self-directed IRA LLCs. So they will actually help you create the LLC legally. There is a lot of steps that you have to take to be exactly in line with IRS guidelines. So we don't do it here, but Accuplan is somebody that we've researched thoroughly. We know that they have attorneys on staff that set it up, and you can do a precious metals IRA LLC where you could technically hold the metals yourself, according to Accuplan and their attorneys. So that might be somebody, you might want to reach out to Alan Small, that's the representative we've talked to over there at Accuplan, and he could give you more guidance on whether or not or how to set up an IRA LLC where you could actually have the LLC hold the metals. Okay? Okay, Monica asks, why do governments own gold if they can print all the money they want?
That's a great question, and it's just because they can print all the money that they want, and then that money loses value. So they need the gold in their system to retain power. That's why they've been accumulating gold since the crisis, because they know that they're destroying the value of their currencies. So that's exactly why they do.
Okay, so say a little bit more about to retain power.
Okay, well, the most important function of gold is to hold your purchasing power intact. And they know that. It does it over time. It's done it for 6,000 years. At the same time, the fiat money, which is government declared money, right? The literal translation of fiat is by decree. The most important function of that is inflation, which guarantees that you can't buy the same amount of goods and services over time. And this has been attempted more than 4,800 times, back in history and today. I mean, we're all
fiat currencies have been tested that many times.
Exactly. And without exception, every single one of them has gone to zero because that is the design of it. So holding gold, physical monetary gold, helps them retain that purchasing power. Plus, when it gets to the point where nobody trusts the currency or the public actually loses confidence in the currency, then they do what they call a reset. And they revalue the currency, the fiat money, against that monetary gold. Gold then rises to its true value, which is as a store of value. As the fiat currency loses all value, then they can repay those debts, reset those debts with a currency that has zero value.
Okay. All right. And since we couldn't answer the first one, we'll go with Kelvin. Says, I have a question. When the next crash does come and gold and silver increase in value, when should one sell? Hold on, let me see. He says, I'm in OZ and would be selling into Australian dollars.
Right, he's in Australia. Okay. So basically you want to look for the patterns. That's why I talk so much about them. And when that happens, what you're going to see, and this would be historically accurate, so I can't guarantee it, but this has happened every time, is you'll see the gold in terms of whatever the currency is, it doesn't matter. But gold in terms of that currency rises, and other income producing assets like, say, commercial real estate or even dividend paying stocks that you hold outright, they will decline in terms of dollars. When you see that accumulation pattern and it looks like the bottom of a cup, we have a webinar in the archives on identifying those all of those different patterns.
Which you could see if you went to itmtrading.com. There's a webinar archive button in the navigation, then you could filter through that.
Right, and you want to look for the one that says something like identifying the phases of a trend.
How to identify the phases of a trend.
Exactly. Yeah. So when you see that pattern forming, then you're going to know that that income producing asset, the big money has recognized that undervaluation and begun to accumulate. So that's when you're going to want to convert the growth part of your gold portion into those other income producing assets. It's called buying low and selling high. Okay, so that's
which I really wish more people did more of.
Well, you know what the problem is people don't know how to identify the true value. Look at the stock market. Look at the bond market. I mean, you know, everybody admits that it's too high, but it's going higher, so everybody goes all in. Let me tell you, when that tide shifts, you won't have the chance to get out.
Okay, so that's all the questions for today. And to get to that webinar archive, you would go to www.itmtrading.com, and then you'll find it in the dark brown navigation bar at the top. It says a webinar archive.
Right. And I just want to say one more thing. Definitely, you guys are going to want to watch the little 5-minute thing that we're going to do on Tuesday, because I know that Janet Yellen says that they raised the interest rates because the economy is doing so good. But I'm going to show you the real reasons why they raised the interest rates and why they will probably, maybe, perhaps keep doing it. We don't know. Every country that's attempted it so far since the crisis has been forced to lower them and then some. But you're going to find this really interesting, guys. So please come.
All right. So like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to our YouTube channel, call us at 888-696-4653, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.